play that video from Sam? The eagle is at the very end when he's like, ugh, ugh. Can we watch it? Let's watch that again. Hold on.
You are all weirdos. Ugh.
It's the ugh that gets me every time.
Is this why you started your own channel? Just so you can show as many clips as you want? Yeah.
All that.
Power.
That's all it is. I really want to show you guys this background here too, but I would have to do that too. This is like, maybe I'll see if I can do that. It's a piece of art that I made. Oh, it's up there. I've made it in the right-hand corner now too. Basically, it says, yeah, I used the term sick, like SIC in brackets, in a WhatsApp text. That's all. I was so excited that I like correctly sicked someone's.
Because it's fun catching a sick. Like I've never sicked somebody, but it feels so fucking good though.
I was like, boom! But it was in a WhatsApp, so I was like, how am I going to memorialize this?
Oh, that's amazing. What was the error?
I have no idea.
Okay. But you sicked him. That's what mattered. You knew they did something wrong. Good.
I remember the magnanimity, though.
Have you been sick yourself? Have you been sick yourself?
I don't remember ever being sicked. But it was sick as fuck. Let me tell you that. You almost sprayed your wine.
When I read a sick, like I actually never even check if there was a typo. So people could just be doing it to just pull one over on me, you know. And I just think they're smarter because they claim to be catching typos. And
because it's like the smuggest fucking way to quote somebody. And it's so good. It's just like, I caught something that you are intelligent enough
they're
to
wrong
yourself.
And their spelling sucks. Like,
and you fucking published it, you idiot.
And I'm quoting them. So it's like,
that's so good.
They're really smart, but not as smart as I am, you know?
Sticking a journalist on someone.
Yeah,
amazing.
Totally. I love it. Well, hi everybody. It's Andrea. We've got all these. I didn't mute myself. Whoop! See what just happened? That was me not muting myself. In the other thing. That's what you heard is that echo. Because I'm such a pro at this. So welcome to the Andrea Seabrook party. These are my friends, Vaden and Benny. They're like really smart, mathy, machine-y, learning-y weirdos. And I thought I would bring them on because, oh my God, I've been dying to talk to them for weeks now, since before I left Costa Rica, and we got into this amazing conversation where suddenly I seemed to be arguing for all the religious nuts in the world somehow. It was funny. And then, and there are, I don't mean like all people who are religious are nuts. We were specifically talking about like religious nuts. Of several different kinds, and I was like,
center of that Venn diagram. Yes.
Exactly. And somehow I find myself arguing for them while I'm having this like life epiphany about Popper and Deutsch, and I don't know, it was very strange. And someday we should listen back to that, and I'll be like, what the fuck was she talking about?
It was a hilarious conversation because we were supposed to just record a normal podcast, but then we spent 3.5 hours fixing our microphones because Fancy Pants NPR reporter can't stand the way that we edited our podcast. And then by the end of it, I was so drunk and stoned that I couldn't put a thought together. And that was the podcast. It was like the one shot where we get like a Fancy Pants NPR reporter to come on our tiny little podcast, and we fucking blew it. It was the worst. Like I've been honestly, and then like hadn't heard it from you for like a month. I was like, well, this is our one shot at the big times, and lost it. Yeah.
Oh my God, this is great. So I'm jumping into the chat like just John DeMarco says I'm already lost. Berta Prey says I'm already lost. Sick. Let me say hi to a few people who have done themselves the great disservice of joining us here in the chat. Professor Brainy Specs, wonderful to see you. John DeMarco, thank you very much. He said in the beginning, weirdo friends, undisciplined discussion. Sounds like my kind of place. Here we are. Let's see. Bird of Prey again. Mr. Bird of Prey. All hail. I won't say that I hail Karoga because, as you know, I'm a current resident of Trashcanistan, the wastebasket of the Midwest. But I at least we're extending diplomatic relations with Kuroga, certainly not with Kurdistan. But we're happy to see you here in the room, Mr. O'Prey. Let's see. Thomas Potts, breaking news, Kuroga showed the Louvre bird of prey artwork. 10 seconds later, Kuroga was banned in all of Europe, and the EU is preparing to declare war on Kuroga. I think the EU already had a war declaration against Kuroga, like most nations on Earth.
Wow.
But Kuroga's a very special place, you guys. I'm sorry. There's a lot of talk here about diplomatic relations that you may not know about. But we'll fill you in eventually.
Yeah. This sounds very important.
It is. It's very important. Yeah. Capital Very.
Yeah. No. I've had a Kurogan flag on my lapel for the last couple of months to show support. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's a very important cause for me. The Kurogan cause. I can't keep this up. I have no idea what Kuroga is.
Okay. Well, because you said that, I'm going to have to read just a slight. This is one of the first things when I saw when I first met Bird of Prey, and I was trolling around, I was lurking around his website. I found his nation state's profile for Kuroga, the Armed Republic of Kuroga, compulsory consumerist state. It says, the Armed Republic of Kuroga is a massive, environmentally stunning nation ruled by Bird of Prey 5, the unforgettable, with an iron fist. It's remarkable for its museums and concert halls, pith helmet sales, and frequent executions. The hard-nosed, hard-working, cynical population of 4.734 billion Kurogans are rabid consumers, partly through choice and partly because the government tells them to, and dissenters tend to vanish from their homes at night. It goes on. With whales in captivity, and the forests are full of roaming T-Rexes. It's a good place.
It sounds like heaven on earth. Forced consumerism in Jurassic Park. It's beautiful. Yeah.
We're trying in Trashkanistan. We're trying to develop a strong trade relationship with Kuroga for their vultures, because we had a small problem with diclofenac in Trashkanistan, and that meant that suddenly we lost all our detritivores, and so all the trash and in fact dead bodies were just lying around Trashkanistan.
Yeah, who else is going to get rid of the detritus?
Exactly. We've got to really
pile up. Yeah, fuck.
The Tyrannosaurus Rex may be
True that.
There. Yeah.
True that. Yeah, come work with us.
Don't appropriate the T-Rex for your own purposes, Vaden.
That's true.
We don't do that.
Listen, I don't understand the complexities.
Cancel, Vaden. Cancel.
Yeah, I can't. Boom.
I don't understand the complexities of the Trash Canada and Kurogistan diplomatic relations.
Trash Canada. My God.
My
you
goodness
are Canadian, aren't you? That's right. I wasn't going to tell anybody.
Yeah, Canadian is Canadian comes. Yeah.
Okay. So let's do like 30 seconds of seriousness here. Yeah, I don't want to have to introduce you really, but these are really, really smart. Okay, you guys tell us your names, how we find you, what you do, and then I want to like mention increments a little bit. But Vaden, you go first.
I am Vaden. I am a PhD student in machine learning at University of British Columbia up in Vancouver, Canada, which is on top. So Canada's on top of the United States, just so for listeners. And so Ben and I have a podcast called Increments where we just shoot the shit about a bunch of stuff. And a couple months ago, we get some random email from Andrea Seabrook, distinguished NPR correspondent. She's like, "You guys are doing it all wrong, all of it." And so we had it was a beautiful
the content, the audio, it's all wrong. Everything.
Let me go through all the things you're doing wrong. And so we got that was nice and fixed, and then she just left our lives forever. And this is this nice opportunity to reconnect and continue shit shooting. So
no. All right, whatever. Yeah. Benny.
What do I got? How can I top that? So Ben Chug is the name. Chug is English, but actually is changed slowly over time. Got changed from Chug to, or changed from Khan to Chug. I'm actually the 18th descendant of Genghis Khan.
Oh, really? I heard he didn't really have very many descendants.
Oh, well, I'm the only one. Yeah, so I aspire at some point to take my rightful place.
He was celibate, wasn't he? Wasn't he?
Heir of Mongolia. No, he actually had some shit kids. They didn't last very long though. There was a lot of infighting, except for my great.
Of course,
who won.
I can tell. I mean, you remind me a lot of him.
Right? Yeah, it's the beard mostly, I think. Yeah.
And the extremely violent nature.
Yeah. The stature and everything. I'm obviously huge. And so anyway, look very Mongolian. So anyway, so I do this like increments shit shooting with Vaden in my spare time. My main plan is to return to my homeland. In a couple years, just as soon as COVID is over. COVID put the brakes on the.
They don't let you back. Oh, Mongolia! I thought you were talking about Canada.
Both.
Did they let you back in there? Oh, okay.
I mean, Genghis Khan was almost at Canada. He's like just close.
Yeah, almost.
Mongolian steppe. Canada was the next step. So I'll get there.
You're the second person today who I've heard describe it as Genghis Khan. Is this some like new liberal conspiracy to change names or something? And
this is the politically correct way to say his name,
because we learn in America, we learn it as being Genghis Khan. Is that wrong?
I think it's actually wrong. Yeah, I think there's some discrepancy over how to say the name, or just some disagreement. But I think it's either Genghis or Hengis are the two main disagreements.
What?
Maybe not that last one.
Genghis Khan.
It's a whole new way to be hangry.
Sounds a little bit like
fucking committing genocide when you're angry.
But I'm pretty sure it's definitely not Genghis Khan. Yeah.
Wow. But we're speaking to
I should know
a member of this bloodline. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I am the authority on this subject, obviously. No one called Dan Carlin.
So how often do you get in conversations about Genghis Khan though? Is this like
it's funny. It's just there seem to be cycles in life. It's probably the government, probably like whispering shit into our ears and making us all, think the same thoughts. But yeah, it's weird. It was with another like sort of philosophical weirdo too. So you guys are the ones who are on a
weirdos.
Wavelength. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, here it's definitely.
You are all weirdos. Ugh.
Yeah.
So good. I'm so impressed with this. That is
Thank
amazing.
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Let's quick go through some more chat here before we. This is a hard hitting philosophical discussion we're having here. I'm really excited
about it. I do think so.
Yeah. Okay. Thomas Potts says, "Am I still on Earth?" And Berta Praise 5 says, "Oh wait, you did capitalize the I. Never mind. That was from his sick. So now we need to sick the sick.
Double sick.
Yeah, double sick. Oh, that is so sick. It is double sick." Let's see. Berta Praise. John DeMarco says, "Oh wait, you did capitalize the I. Never mind." But Berta Praise had spelled it says capitalize, and so now John DeMarco has sicked that. Wow. So we've got like a fucking fractal of sick going on here.
Has someone able to sick a sick? Like, is there a mistaken sick which you can then itself sick?
That happened. I'm not sure. This is hardcore. Yeah. Talk about philosophy.
It's like a Mobius strip of sick. Yeah.
It is Inception shit. You're right. You are right.
Fifth stick down, you'll see Leonardo DiCaprio.
and then turtles.
Turtles. Exactly.
Yeah. Thomas Potts, Berta Parade, John, you are making me more confused. Professor Brainy Speck says, "Greetings. Hello, sir." He is, in fact, Brainy. Oh, yeah, Professor. Yeah. Sorry. God, I called him so.
Bad eyesight, though, from here. Yeah.
How? Yeah. Good hair.
Yeah,
good hair.
A lot of brains.
Got a haircut yesterday.
Good.
Yeah, it's good. John DeMarco, I do that a lot. John DeMarco says, "Hail Trashcanistan." Thank you. It is, of course, the wastebasket of the Midwest. Berta Pro 5 says, "Thomas Potts sick is used to denote a quote with a typo or other punctuation mistake, so people know the original quote was wrong, not the person quoting it. Thank you. I'm glad somebody around here actually has a basic goddamn dictionary.
And knows their sickness. Yeah.
Actually, their sickness. Oh, that ails me. That pun ails.
Put up the YouTube one because you guys are getting like the much better, liver comments, and I want to keep up.
Oh no, I'm way behind actually.
Oh my goodness.
I'm catching up. Yeah, Bird of Prey says it's basically an FU to the original poster. This is true. Hail Karoga, says Bird of Prey. Fine. Hello, Karoga. I may not hail you, but I will hello you. Thomas Bott says, now they know how we felt at the beginning of the stream. I don't know what he means by that because I'm sure you felt fine. Let's see. Emphasis on the rabid part. I don't know what was rabid there.
Wait, I want to know for Bird of Prey in Karoga, is the fact that Bird of Prey is unforgettable, is that descriptive or is that normative? You know, is Bird of Prey just such an amazing leader that like everyone just will never forget them after they're gone? Or is it like it's mandated, like you cannot forget it on pain of whatever they do in Karoga to dissenters?
Bird of Prey, as I do, I would say the latter. That it's, this is a extremely tyrannical state. Yes.
Good.
Nice. Good. We need more tyranny.
Yeah. I believe, it gets most of its gross domestic product from mining, which is done almost entirely by minor orphans. So, that gives you sense. Yeah, right, exactly. Miners. Yes.
Orphans of miners.
Yeah. It's spelled MINO in parentheses, E in parentheses, RS, because it's both kinds of miners.
Little ones can go in smaller places, which is why it's
true. Tiny hands, tiny stitches. Yes.
This is what the revolution got so right.
Yep. Thomas Potts says, look up my nation state is Triggerland 85. At some point, there are a lot of countries in the world, Thomas Potts. I will get to it because you are important, Thomas, and we like you.
We got to get to Triggerland 84 first, though. I mean,
that's true. There's a lot of Triggerlands. Yeah. John DeMarco, the panel's already thinking, what did we walk into? Which is what I was thinking earlier when I went on to Bird of Prey's stream, and they were talking about breast milk, and this is like a bunch of guys, right, talking about random stuff and calling boobs mountains, and I don't know.
This is what we do in our spare time.
Apparently, there was some interesting conversation about that as well. John DeMarco says, no. Thomas Potts says, on top of the U.S., there is nothing. I think he was responding to Canada. Bird of Prey says, Khan! Which is, I assume, a Star Trek reference.
Of course, classic.
Yeah, okay, good. I'm glad you guys... See, I'm hanging out with all these, like, Star Trek guys, and it's like, I don't know. There's a lot they know that I don't, and it seems very, very important. I'll tell you that to them.
Star Trek is important.
Yes. You know what I started watching is The Orville. Have you seen this?
Like Redenbacher? No. I don't know how these relate, but please continue. You have my undivided attention.
So it's like totally obviously Star Trek. It's a parody of Star Trek, but it's funny and silly as a parody, sort of it should be. Except it does all the things that Star Trek used to do, like take on actual philosophical questions and really work through them. And Star Trek isn't doing those things anymore, so it kind of replaces that. So, like all these Star Trek guys who are great guys, I love you guys. They also they have been watching The Orville, and I don't know, there's a lot of stuff about that. You should see it. It's on Hulu.
Yeah.
It's on Hulu.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Good people. Let's see. I'm going to just get to the bottom of the goddamn chat here. Eastland Burkholder, hello, Eastland, says, I missed part of this. Now, would this make more sense if I had caught from the beginning? Not sure.
No. Yeah. Sure. It'll probably make less sense. Whatever sense you currently have made, you will unmake that progress, and it will get more confusing. Yeah, don't. Don't even try. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm going to go fast now. Isla Burkholder says, hello. John DeMarco says the U.S. pronunciation is the only correct one for everything. I think he's talking about Genghis Bird of Prey 5 says not really Eastland Burkholder. The John DeMarco says Marca. Yeah. Eastland Burkholder says thanks, Bert. Yeah. Yes. Yes, I noticed a lot of orange. I'm sorry. Does anyone have anything to say about the amount of orange?
No,
you know what?
Designer, I really think that they have a career waiting for them. This is good stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So you went for orange and Helvetica. Purple. Is that right?
Probably.
It's good. It's good.
I saw a documentary about Helvetica. You know, the one about it's called Helvetica, and it's really good. And now it's the only font I remember or use because
it's
why?
Fantastic. Well, see, on the top left is a different font than the top right. And so why?
Well, because good design calls for many fonts at once.
It challenges the mind with its contradictions.
Yeah.
Hegelian synthesis.
Yes. Yeah. You started with the one, you're like, no, this is not where I need it to be.
Yeah.
Let's go Comic Sans.
The one that says Andrea is very close to Comic Sans. You have to have some of that in order to...
You need to show that you're both humorous, Comic Sans, but also serious, Helvetica.
Yes, exactly.
And orange says, I like citrus. I also take scurvy very seriously.
I do take... Now, you are making fun of the pirates of the world, and I won't stand for that. I'm canceling you now. Let's see. Thanks, Bird. Yes, I know there's a lot of orange. John DeMarco says sick inception. John DeMarco says pedantry is our specialty. That is true. In fact, glorious, frivolous pedantry is the names of the game. Thomas Potts says raise Karoga. That's R-A-Z-E. John DeMarco says the Karogan citizens were rabid. Thank you. Bird of Prey says both. I have no idea what that means. John DeMarco, miners and miners, right. Brainy Spec says my world is Gallifrey. Good.
Wouldn't expect anything else, yeah.
Yeah. Eastland Burkholder, open lines with Bird of Prey 5. Bird of Prey is here, but oh my God, I'm never going to get through. You people are just talking and talking.
Where are the other 4 Bird of Preys? Is my first question.
That's a really good question, actually. I don't think I've ever asked for that.
It's
survival of the fittest,
That's what I'm wondering. Yeah. These are the questions.
These are the hard-hitting philosophical. Yeah. We named this session Popper and Deutsch and critical rationalism. Oh my, because we were talking about such important philosophical ideas, and I think we've made good progress.
Yeah, I mean, Deutsch's next book is going to be about Karoga. I think that's what I've heard. So. Yes. And what's above the U.S.
The infinite
question.
The
when I look up, I don't see anything, so I don't know.
I just see blue sky.
A little suspicious. Yeah, exactly.
Canada, right?
What? I can't hear that word. I'm not sure what you're saying. But John DeMarco says the Orville is great. Bird of Prey 5 says, wow, because I think probably because neither of you have ever heard of Orville. Here's the thing. Okay. Can you guys, Benny and Vaden, can you just hold on a second? Just listen to something else for a second because I got to talk to my audience. So could you separate out for a second? Guys, I got to tell you something about Benny and Vaden. So you guys look the other way. I'm talking to my audience. Vaden,
right. I'll just drink more whiskey. All right.
Great. Good. These guys actually study things, not pop culture stuff, and they know some math and stuff. It's weird, so we have to be careful because they might find out what really matters. So don't let it on. Okay, not too much about that. Okay.
I might take a derivative, right in the middle of this conversation. I've done it before, and I will fucking do it again. I'll just give me anything. I'll differentiate it. I'll differentiate it right now.
I would like you to do that right now. Actually,
I'm already done. I just did x squared. Done. Differentiated. Look at that. It's pretty wild.
Oh my God! You just blew my mind. That is so much more important.
Yeah. 10 years of education. 10 years.
Yeah. And still going, right?
Yeah.
You don't stop.
Yeah, it's kind of my life, man.
Hip hop, you don't stop.
You're one of these few people who or I'm one of the few people who just starts enjoying it more and more. and it just becomes like less work and more fun. Yeah, and annoying. And then I get to shout about it with a bunch of randos on YouTube, and what's better than that?
Yeah, I mean, randos. What are you calling a rando?
You are all weirdos. Ugh.
Yeah. So I was thinking about Bird of Prey 1 to 4. Bird of Prey 5. I'm much more comfortable with.
Could you do the derivative? Could you do the derivative, the derivation, or whatever, however the fuck you say that in math of Bird of Prey 5?
It would be 5 Bird of Prey to the power 4. Yeah.
That was the Millennium problem, I think. I think Vaden just got $1 million for solving that.
Oh, totally.
That was a Millennium Prize.
Yeah. Except I'm the one who asked the question, so you got to give me, 5/6 of the money. Let's see. Exactly. 5/6.
Not a random ratio. All right.
Not at all.
My buddy's on. Can I give a shout out to Chesto? I have to say.
Yeah. Hells to the I got Chesto.
He is the besto. And I have one story about Chesto. I have many stories about Chesto, but the best story is you meet him and he has a calling card, and his calling card says, "Hi, my name is Brendan, but everybody calls me Chesto." And he gives you the card, and it says this as he's literally saying it, and so it fucks your brain up because you're reading it as he's saying it, and you're like, "Why am I now holding this?" And then it's the best introduction that any person has ever given me. And it is so good, and just a huge shout out to Chesto for fucking my brain up the first time we met. It was so good. Yeah.
There's something of like a surrealist sort of ceci n'est pas un pipe aspect to that, like going 2 channels at once. He should say it and give you the card and like, I don't know.
But it's also information that you need to know about him, because you need to know that his name is actually Brendan, but nobody actually calls him that, and his name is actually Chesto. And then you have the whole thing just written down for you so you can study it later. It's amazing.
Well,
it's so convenient.
There needs to be some, I mean, I hope the other side of the card has a little like explanation of like, well, here is why the fuck everyone calls me Chesto.
Unearth this from him many root beers later, because Chesto is also a root beer aficionado, as it turns out.
I thought you said group beers.
No, me too. Yeah,
he's the only person who will go to a bar and consistently get disappointed that they don't have root beer. But no fucking bar has root beer. Bars, like, who has a root beer in anything? Root beer and Coke? Root beer, root beer is
it would be so confusing, because then when someone says, "I want a beer," you have to be like, root?
I know.
Or not root.
No bar
that is
in
the
North
question.
America contains fucking root beer. It's only Coca-Cola and like the standard ones.
I bet you root beer and gin would be fucking good though.
No, ew, gross. Wrong.
Amazing.
Canceled. No, you are canceled, Benny.
But just huge Chesto, love that man with all of my heart. Oh, and Jeremy Tubbs is on too. Oh my god. Can I just say that I fucking love Jeremy Tubbs as well? Because I just fucking love Jeremy Tubbs. And you know what he did before we came on? He sent me a photo. He sent me a photo of how he holds his microphone, because I didn't know how to hold my microphone. And he said, pretend like it's a gun shooting past your face. So talk not like this, which is what I was always doing, but talk like this. So
you sound way better when you were doing it what you called wrong.
Hey, Jeremy.
God damn
Fancy
it, Jeremy.
Pants NPR reporter thinks you're bullshit.
Well, okay. You just popped your pee a little bit, but I was going to say that Benny is doing it. At least I can't quite tell with the perspective. But Benny seems to be doing it really, really right. And Vaden, you are once again doing that thing where you've put the mic in a place and you promise yourself you are going to orient yourself to the mic correctly, when in fact what you need to do is what Benny is doing, which is put yourself and then orient the mic to you, not you to the mic.
It's Jeremy. Okay. We were taught the Genghis Khan bloodline is taught this from an early age, so it's not your fault, It's just cultural learning.
Who the fuck is Genghis Khan? It's like Django Reinhardt? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're the same person.
Yeah.
This is public.
Not very many fingers.
Oh my God.
Publicly, okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah. You. Okay. So can you? So Vaden, tell me about your day.
You want to know about my day?
No, I want you to test your mic. So I'm just trying to get you.
Oh, I was supposed to tell you way more.
This is where we descend back into sound testing. And then we're just getting hammered.
Last time we did this for 3.5 hours.
That's enough. Stop talking.
Okay.
I demand that you stop talking. Okay. We are never going to get through. Oh, all of you fancy pants people who came to see your fancy pants friends who don't already follow me, please sub to my channel, because I get, I don't know, extra crap from YouTube world if I get some number of subs or some shit. I'm not here trying to grow a career out of this, but I do. There are like benchmarks. It's sort of like, Candy Crush Saga bullshit. Bird of Prey 5 says the Orville is a parody homage to Star Trek by Seth MacFarlane on Hulu. Yes, it is. Next week, Vaden and Benny, we'll talk about that. You have to go watch 8 episodes before next week. Because I know.
Tell me what Orville Redenbacher is. Because I said that. I don't actually know what that means, and I can't Google stuff right now. So if Bird of Prey 5 can just come back to me on that, that would be super great. Thank you.
Orville Redenbacher?
Is that like a popcorn thing? It is a popcorn thing, right?
It is a popcorn.
I was like, I'm pretty sure it's a popcorn thing, but I wasn't sure enough to say it. But knowing that
the other Orville you might know is there was a guy who created an airplane, Orville Wright brothers.
Oh, that's right.
That was the other Orville. You might
before I went into the popcorn industry, I guess.
There was also definitely somewhere someone evil named Orville. That's just because the world has to work that way. It's such a good nemesis name.
It totally is.
There has to have been someone evil called Orville.
Somebody will tell us what that is in the chat, but I can't get there because I'm stuck where I have been because we keep talking. So, John DeMarco,
shut up. Yeah.
Keep commenting so she can't catch up. God damn you, John DeMarco! Darren Wagner says, I am now buzzing thanks to Andrea's glasses. Apparently, I make people high just with my glasses. Actually, okay, I'm going to break my own rule here and just say, I did not mean for my glasses to be my public persona. What happened is these are reading glasses. I only use them for seeing things that are like, 18 inches from my face. It just so happens that like society became something I experienced 18 inches from my face about a year ago. And now it's like as if I had chosen orange glass. I just like the color. Or I'm so
just leave it alone. All right?
Like I am so bad at like fashion shit, and I'm a girl, so like you have to have some unifying theory for your look, right? So I basically a few years ago was like orange. I like orange, so I'll just buy everything orange, right? That'll be my unifying theory.
It matches the design choices you've made on your YouTube channel perfectly. It's really good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay, back to the chat. Here we go. This is important. I'm gonna go fast. All right. Isla Burkholder says, "Good idea, John." Cinnabon Bunny. Hi, Cinnabon Bunny. Says the Orville is a delicious popcorn from the microwave. Thank you. Pflugerville, which is he's up near you. I think Pfluger, aren't you in Minnesota or are you in Canada? I always get that mixed up. It's like up there.
Canada's about to annex Minnesota though, so they're about to
okay. Yeah. He says, amazed Bird of Prey 5 is still awake. We are blessed and honored with his presence. Isla Burkholder, DNR. I am thinking up comments. Don't resuscitate. Wow. Thomas Potts says, we Americans, not good grammar and spelking. Good job, Thomas Potts.
Sick.
I'm gonna create a like
fucking sick.
A new little video that's just like sick.
Oh, yep. We should really sick the hell out of that guy. Or they.
Totally.
I don't know. I shouldn't assume.
We could have a dog like that you sick the sick dog on or something. Yeah, that's good, isn't it? Yeah. John DeMarco, what is the airspeed velocity of an unladed swallow?
African
7.
or European?
Hey! You win. You get a nerd card.
Nice. I'm signing off now. That was it. This is
African.
Literally smart as I'm about to get. So
Captain Trek is here. Woo! So everybody say hi to Captain Trek.
Hello, Captain Trek.
First stream that I was on here, and always and forever the gatekeeper of my live streaming experience. Trek is saying, Bird of Prey 5, good night, and as I am unneeded, you might as well have a morning Coke. Okay. Bird of Prey 5 says, Kapla Pflugerville. Kapla, do you guys know this word, Kapla, or as I say, Kerplop? It's some Klingon shit. I don't know.
Something falling? It sounds like something falling.
It does. Yeah, something fell. Eastland Burkholder, DNR. I just took headache meds and typing comments seems like wacky fun, John. I really think we need to worry about somebody who seems like a biologically active person who is begging to not be resuscitated.
We don't need to worry about him because he has a DNR. We don't need to worry about him at all. We can completely ignore him. Yeah,
makes things much simpler.
Yeah, life would be so good if people just had DNR. We just say, yeah, that guy's dead. I don't care.
Yeah,
that guy's died. I'm gonna ignore that
also,
too.
Also, don't worry about it. You know, because you don't want to feel guilty.
Clearly, the person doesn't want to be resuscitated, so I'm not going to try.
Yeah. Eastern Burkholder.
It's do not read, not do not resuscitate. We should definitely be worrying about him.
I think actually it means do now read. Do now read. So Eastland Burkholder. So Pflugerville said, "Kapla, Eastland Burkholder. I like the font Bodini. Do not on the do now read." Bird of Prey 5 says, Captain Trek on they're talking about stuff. Wacky fun indeed. Robert Rose Jr. Hello tonight, Andrea Seabrook. Hail Turdistan. Well, have fun over there in Turdistan. Hope it doesn't go down the tubes. Kronos first. Kronos, you were not first. You were like 27 millionth. Bird of Prey 5 says, Comic Sans is the best font. Indeed. And then we had a jump, and I'm off again. But I can't do this, you guys. I just can't. It's too much pressure.
Keep it coming. This is important stuff. Yeah. Have you got to the bottom of it, or are we?
No, I haven't gotten to the bottom of it yet. They keep This is like I feel like there is a conspiracy against me here. I can't even figure out where I was.
If it weren't for you meddling kids,
Yeah. Oh my God!
I see Kronos and John DeMarco. The best font is clearly Wingding. Oh, John DeMarco has a wrench in his name.
Oh yeah!
How the hell did he get that? That's amazing.
He's a wrench for me. Some people. Oh my God! It's just. This is ridiculous. I can't do this, everybody.
Wingdings. What the hell is Wingdings?
You don't know what Wingdings is? How old are you, Benny?
Obviously not old enough for Wingdings. That's you only get to experience Wingdings once you hit what, like 30 or something? It's like PG, PG-13, R, and then Wingding, and that's like way up there. And I'm just not there yet. My parents have yet to.
I think you get your ring. You get your ring around 20, and then it's done around 30. Yeah. But it's a slower process, but yeah. I just got the wings. I'm about to get it done.
Back in the good old days when we had very slow and underpowered computers, some of the first Macs that universities had and high schools and whatever that educational institutions had like 4 fonts you could choose from, and the fonts were like, Arial, of course, which is like fake Helvetica. And a couple other things. And then one of them was Wingdings. And what Wingdings, the font did was change every letter in your keyboard to a different piece of like little clip art. It was the first emojis kind of. So there was like a little sun and a little, not emojis like as complicated thing. You couldn't choose the skin color of your, Wingding character.
Well, that's racist. So
it is.
Wingdings are canceled. Get out.
Out. No, but so Wingdings was a font, and so you could type, but it was gobbledygook of arrows and other symbol-y kinds of things. Mainly for you weirdo scientist math people who had to have symbols.
Yeah, it's just like another alphabet.
Yeah, they were glyphs. They were glyphs. Perfect. A glyph is a good word. Okay. Yeah. I don't know what to do now, guys, because I really want to read what everybody's saying, but it's like
flying the plane.
Yeah. It's so hard. We haven't. How long have we been on now? Can anyone see how long?
39 minutes. This is amazing.
Yeah. We've been on for that, and we have not even mentioned.
Go all night.
We haven't gotten through your biographies. We haven't talked about your podcast.
We've talked about the wings and the dings. That's enough. That's enough. Yeah.
It really is. It really is. Okay. So everybody shut up for a second, okay? Just be quiet. It's you guys. Let's see. Wacky fun. Yeah. Okay. Chrono says first, no. Comic Sans is the best font, period, says Bird of Prey. Brady Speck says, hail on Kuroga. Yes, we are wishing for large storms. Chrono says, hey, Andrea Seabrook. Hey, panel. Hey, chat. Thank you, Kronos. Eastland Burkholder, DNR, which means do now read, of course. I'm going to make a board game, and I need 11 colors that do not look bad together and are not easily mistaken for each other. Great.
Is this a big source?
Is this a challenge?
Yeah. I use there's a palette. Yeah. Keep going.
The rainbow has 7, so you only need 4 more. And like you can use like light green and dark green, or And actually, I've been. Oh no, we can't get into colors right now, can we? Because I'll never read the rest of the chat. But there is actually, this is fascinating. There's actually a progression of the development of color language in the development of a culture's. You know how they talk about the wine dark tea? Because in ancient Greece they didn't have the word blue, so the sea was the color of wine, was red, right?
Hypothesis.
So what's cool is there is a predictable progression in the evolution of I don't know if you can, evolution meant, you know what I mean, the progression of a culture. There's a predictable acquisition of color words. And this is so cool, and I love looking at all the anthropology of this. And then I found out that there are, a bunch of cultures today that have more color words than we do. Like basic. So like we're not the humans in this scenario, we're the apes. Like they're beyond us. We're like not as, we're the unevolved ones. I just want to make sure people know there is a separate word for light green, and it doesn't mean light green. It is a different color band on the spectrum.
It's the difference between red and pink, right? Where you have a color red, but we don't have a color for light blue or light green. No.
Yeah, exactly.
Aqua.
So it's just
Cerulean.
No.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it. Okay, everybody, hold your breath. Don't talk.
Go.
2 times speed.
Yes.
Chrono says, "I know math." Like math. John DeMarco, I like science. Chrono says badly. Chrono says weird science. Professor Brady Speck says, Chronos, what is a chronoga? John DeMarco says 2x is so derivative.
Nice. Was that John DeMarco?
It was. John DeMarco is a very, very smart man.
My man, John DeMarco.
He actually teaches the maths. So, Pflugerville, I are good wit maths. Thomas Potts says 5 + 7 = 57. Good job, Thomas Potts. Chesto, this right now. I'm getting to the part where you notice that Chesto was here. That's how behind I am.
You're going from the middle to, but it just keeps going, right? Like you're never going to get to the end.
They're doing this to me on purpose.
This is good.
They are the ones controlling the treadmill here.
So in a holding pattern. Just keep it going. She'll never get to the end.
Differentiation is a tool of the white supremacy. Yes. Cancel differentiation. Kronos shrugs at Professor Brady. Pflugerville says, I have a calc on my phone. Kronos says, yay, Muppets. Thomas Potts says, Kronos, you have returned hello. Eastland Burkholder says, DNR, do now read. But honestly, I will not copy that color of orange. Andrea can keep it, although I have a bad sense of colors. Well, you just said you had a bad sense of color, so you should do exactly what you think you shouldn't do, right? Chrono says, woohoo! Darren says, math is the perfect language for deception. Yeah, whatever. 47 Yorktown, good evening from Eastern Canada. Hey, you have some compatriots here, guys.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, but although 47 Yorktown is from the Maritimes.
It's up in there.
Yeah. Chrono says, I'm the ghost of Maximilian. Hello, Ghost of Maximilian. Professor Brady Speck says, it's the power of math, people. Eastland Burkholder says, DNR, because that's why I'm reading it. Every time I read that, it's because it means do now read. My favorite thing is to see the panelists pass a pencil to each other.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
Shit.
Like this thing?
All right.
What?
All right, Vaden, it's coming. No, wait, other way.
Wait.
We can both pass pens. Come on, dude.
It's
Who's starting?
Oh,
no. You stop.
I have to go the other direction.
Drop your fucking pen, dude. You're taking my pen. I'm
let's
having
get it.
No. One of us
ready.
takes the pen.
Oh, got it. I see. Oh, yeah. Sorry. We're about to touch tips. Yeah, we're doing a tip.
Yeah, we save that for our podcast, dude. The tip touches, that's that's just between you and I. All right, you ready?
Wait, hold on. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Go. Got it.
Nice.
No shit, the depth perception is off. I'm gonna try to touch tips again. That was
let's just touch tips. All right, it's easier.
Wait, got it.
Yeah.
Nice. Fuck, this is so weird. I'm all disoriented because like my hands aren't moving in the right direction, and it's all mirrored.
You guys are like these people who are first learning to be weathermen. Who
I
don't
know
how stuff.
Or like it's sunny here.
Ohio.
Yeah. It's sunny over there.
Oh man, we should have practiced. We should have practiced.
Brilliant people.
Oh, that's so good.
So unable to do a basic illusion.
It would be easier to literally create a wormhole than get into just like.
Yeah. Don't you have like fucking hadron colliders and shit?
Yeah.
How come you can't pass a pen from one another?
Listen, we're not fancy pants journalists from that.
We sure aren't. We sure
We don't
fucking aren't.
write in Wingdings. Okay?
Yeah. Exactly. We're still on the common
here.
stance level. We will get to the Wingdings. Yeah.
Okay.
Just
Dan, Jeremy Tubbs says Chesto the besto. Hello, Jeremy Tubbs. Chrono says Huey Lewis song. See, we're so far past, I can't remember what anyone's referring to. Brady Speck says, Cronus, man, you have really let yourself go, Max. John DeMarco says, and Chesto was his name. Oh. Chesto says, I love you too, Vaden. Chrono says, I make the world go round. Pflugerville says, I'm going back to bake my brains on Sanctuary laters. Goodbye,
So I just realized we're going to be here for a while. I'm going to grab another bottle of wine. I'll be right back.
Another bottle.
all right, nice.
Okay, great. Later, Flugs. Jeremy Tubbs says, Chesto came to my bar and drained the place of ginger beer. Ginger beer. And Burkholder says, Diet Dr. Pee or Peppy. I don't know. Bird of Prey 5 says, Quark's bar has root beer. I think that's a Trek thing in one of the Treks. Do you know, Benny?
I know. I didn't want to say this while we were doing it, but Star Trek does not do it for me. I'm sorry, people. Really? Yeah, I don't get it.
How much Star Trek have you seen, though? What have you seen of Star Trek?
Probably just like a few episodes of the old school Star Trek.
Dude, start Next Generation from the beginning, man. It's like
Next Generation.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, it's all about like I just started rewatching it, and it's all about like leadership and what it means to be a human being, and like plays with theory of mind and stuff because of data, and it's good.
AI, totally.
AI, yeah, 100%. Yeah, what is it that defines human nature and all this crap?
Well, okay, so I recommend totally. I recommend that you actually, like, it would be fun to do like an Orville watch party, because the Orville is, I think it started in 2017, and they take on some even more interesting, like Next Generation is what, 25, 30 years old at this point.
Yeah.
That it started anyway. But it's so funny to go and remember that like there were 26 or 23 episodes per season of that shit. It like goes on. It's like a million different things. Yeah. The Orville, though, actually has some really interesting like personhood, machine languagey stuff that you might like. Plus, it's funny. And my current thinking is like the thing that's always hampered Star Trek for me is even in the really old, like the original series, they call it TOS, the original series. It's just so fucking campy. Like I have trouble with, the makeup and but the philosophy is interesting. Like the questions are interesting. So the Orville, because it's kind of a parody, it gets it doesn't bother you as much that they look really stupid. And they managed to do some interesting things. So, okay, don't talk for a second. Quark's bar has root beer, says Bird of Prey. It's so bubbly. Chrono says diet soda is the devil. Executive producer Saul Leibowitz, good to see you, mister. Says, hello, Kronos. What?
Oh, I just said Saul. Nice to see you.
Saul?
Yeah.
Put your hat. Kronos says, oh no, Bird is here. John DeMarco says, insidious. Kronos says, hey, Saul. Jeremy Tubbs, Benny's nailing it. You're nailing it, Benny.
I'm nailing it. All right.
I think this is when we check for the mics.
We're there. We're back
my
there
God.
in the chat.
I know.
Andrea, are you?
Do you think I just
every
have
other one? Just do every fifth one. How about that? Like, or how about just not do all of them? That's an option. Just spitballing here.
Okay. I'm just gonna randomly pick some. So executive producer Saul Leibowitz says Django Khan was the brother of Madeline Khan.
That seems right.
Wow. This is good. Bird of Prey 5 says Jenga Khan, the new family game of building strategy. Eastwood Oh my God.
Don't make fun of my family like that. This is not funny, okay? This has gone too far. It's my freaking great grandparent you're talking about. This is, oh my God.
I know it's hard.
People are so insensitive.
Cancel.
Like half of the planet related to Genghis Khan, though, just to be.
Yes, that was the funny part.
Oh, okay, that joke just landed. I legit thought that you like actually had like a bloodline certificate or something.
Even when I said to him when he didn't have very many kids.
Yeah, no, I'm just catching up now. I was like, I didn't know. We've been doing.
Well, we're at.
I do have a certificate.
51 minutes and 26 seconds.
And you're halfway.
Let's see. Okay, you're right. I'm going to have to go. Okay, so if you want me to read your thingy, and I want to read it, put at my name, okay, in the chat. So Professor Bernie Speck says, orange is a great color, one of the main colors of my favorite sports team. I have no idea who that is. Which one it would be.
Cortega's national team. Quiroga, not Cortega.
How many of these have you done now? Have you been bombarded by comments every time? And do they just
it's you. It's you guys.
Good. It's
if that's what you're asking.
It's our charm and our wit. No, I'm wondering if the show consists purely and only of reading comments. And
there are shows like that.
This is good. This is important stuff.
Yeah, I'm at the end. Okay. Let's see. John DeMarco. John DeMarco says, well, it's now officially the virtual pub. I believe what he is saying there is other shows that like this end up being just about like reacting to the chat. And
that's fantastic. I'm loving it.
Snake eating its tail, kind of Ouroboros, kind of fun. Let's see.
Talking about.
All right, I need to refill whiskey and defill my blood.
We'll take
another bottle of whiskey.
Do you want to alternate? I'll take one. You take one. Yeah. Where are you?
I never get to go.
Here, should I pass my whiskey to you through the?
Yeah. Let's see it. Can you do it? Watch it.
I don't understand how motion works in this mirror world.
You mean non-mirror world?
Okay, so pass it to me. No, but I need to be holding something though, because because it's not going to work if I don't actually have something to hold.
This man is a PhD student of physics. Everyone, physics.
Not coming. The wormhole closed.
This is too much. God. Nobody told me it was.
I'm disgusted.
I'm getting to the end here. Okay, so John DeMarco says start with the Next Generation, but skip season 1. Which having just, I'm now on season, I think, the end of season 4, beginning of season 5, and it's true. And we were saying that to Benny anyway, and Benny's gone, so none of it matters. Nothing really matters. Goodbye. Let's see. John DeMarco, the original series is campy, but I still love it. And since before your sun burned hot in space and before your race was born, I have awaited Andrea to catch up. Very beautifully said. Thank you, John.
You know, we've just made it worse by talking about how we're never going to catch up, and now it's just going to be.
Yes, they are out to get me. Kronos, Andrea Sieber, are you cheating by skipping most of the chats? No, I'm totally not. If I didn't say it, it wasn't there. Professor Bernie Specs, Kronos still better than Discovery, blah, John DeMarco. Andrea Seabrook, make sure you put Andrea Seabrook in all your chats so Andrea Seabrook reads your Andrea Seabrook chats.
Nice. That was the meta one. That was good. Good.
Thomas Potts, Ramses has a lot of kids. Glinzer says, read your thingy? Yeah, okay. Chrono says, Andrew Seabrook, hey there, that is all. John DeMarco says, we're almost to a full hour of comments. Let's keep it going. John DeMarco says, Andrea Seabrook comment. Okay, I'm skipping some. And here, look, we have Catastatic.
That's a new name. This is like the story about the guy who faxed something 1,000 times because he thought it was supposed to teleport the document. Obviously, it's like that story. Duh. Fucking tip of all of our minds. Catastatic.
You want to know who Catastatic is?
I would love to.
Catastatic is my baby daddy. Catastatic is the father of my child.
Nice.
Yeah, how about that, everybody?
Catastatic.
All my friends in the chat, this is Catastatic. And he is a wonderful, lovely guy. You should go sub to him too. Oops, there goes my 9 o'clock alarm. Are you ready for a little... Oh, could you hear that? That was Beastie Boys.
Oh.
Yeah. Brass monkey. That chunky monkey. Okay, Thomas Potts. Remember, if you want Andrea Seabrook to read your comments, add Andrea Seabrook.
That's good. Yeah, this was a really effective system that you put in place for the comment feed, Andrea. The comment, because now everyone's just going to do that. Like you just they're just going to do that now, right?
We need a criteria of demarcation for what you read and what you don't.
Totally.
That's the truest philosophical problem here.
Let's keep riffing.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set a timer. I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you
ever got to the end
1 minute.
Okay.
We're moving past that. I'm done. I'm giving you, Vaden, and you, Benny, each 1 minute. You can decide right now between the two of you which of you is going to explain in that 1 minute who the ideas of Karl Popper, who he was, and his ideas, and which of you is going to then, as an addendum, add who David Deutsch is and his ideas, adding on to Karl Popper. So which one of you is Popper, which is Deutsch?
Wait. So do we have a minute to discuss who's going to have which role, or do we get a minute to talk about each of these things?
You get 1 minute each to talk about your subject. One of you is Popper, and one is Deutsch. I will give you 15 seconds.
Are we role playing?
To decide. You can do it however you like, but if you want to, use it as a sex game, go right ahead.
I can't do an Austrian accent though. So
you have 15 seconds to decide which of you is going to do Popper and which Deutsch. Go.
You do both.
No, I'll do Popper, you do Deutsch. I'll do Popper, you do Deutsch.
All right, that's good. Yeah, you have to do his accent though. You have to talk in the first person as Popper.
Yeah, he has this quiet little Austrian accent. I can't do the Austrian accent.
I'll threaten you with a poker like Wittgenstein.
Rocco round 2, Rocco round. That's right, on time. It's tricky. Okay.
I'm Popper, your Deutsch. Nice.
All right, so I'm setting. You will now have. You do not get to say anything else. Popper goes first, and I assume that is you, Vaden.
Mm-hmm. And what do you want me to say? Just talk about it.
How do I make Vaden the biggest one? There.
Oh my God.
Ready? Go.
Go.
Karl Popper is a philosopher of science who has the most finely calibrated bullshit detector of any person I've ever read. And his most important work is basically called Conjectures and Refutations. And the whole thing is just calling bullshit everywhere. And if you do that enough in philosophy, if you just call bullshit place after place, eventually it becomes science. And so his work is a philosopher of science because he just trimmed all the bullshit out. And then we have the scientific method. And that's Karl Popper. Off to you in the weather room.
I can't believe you're in the weather room.
And over to you.
In the weather room. Now the show will forevermore be called The Weather Room. Okay. And I don't know. I may have to give you. I'm not sure how much more you can say about Popper. You didn't even use all your time. I'd like to point out, but
that's how efficient he is.
That's
the point. It's him in the bedroom, him in a podcast. Everything.
I'm out.
All right, then.
I don't even know he was there.
Benny, David Deutsch, Benny.
All right, David Deutsch is a lovely English fellow. I was going to try and emulate his accent, but that's just, I could tell that was going south. I'm not drunk enough for that yet. And another bottle of whiskey. So he builds off the work of Karl Popper, and I would say his biggest contribution is to take.
He's reading notes, aren't you? Do you have notes right there? Did you just look down at notes?
No. I just looked down at my hands. But, I have notes about Deutsch just scrawled across my desk. So
looking at tattoos and tattoos.
Yeah, exactly. So you looking down at my hands is notes about Deutsch.
Okay.
But Deutsch's whole thing is we're looking for good explanations of things. It's not about data. It's not about Bayesian updating. It's not about whatever the hell people think it's about. It's just about good explanations of phenomenon. And he applies this in every domain of life, to your sex life, to politics, to...
That's right on time. It's tricky. Tricky. What? Okay.
And that's all you need to know. So I
To
think we did them justice.
I think that's a fair summary, and the audience needs to know nothing more. Yeah.
They're ready.
I mean, the thing is, I'm trying to think of. I'm trying to decide if your Popper decision is like sublime or not sublime. Like
what do you mean?
You said you calling bullshit. You basically just called, but anyone can call bullshit. But
yeah, but not like Popper.
Yeah, I mean, do we get to say that Popper is really just science?
Okay, do you want me to go into it a bit more?
Yeah, go.
I can go to it a bit more.
Okay.
So, like the Popper was around in the, let's say, early 20th century, so 1910s ish. That was when he started to write and think. And at the time, there were three big theories in the culture that he was really interested in. One was Freud, Freudian psychoanalysis. Another was Marxism and historical materialism and all that. And the third was Einstein's special and general theory of relativity.
What?
Einstein, my man. And so put yourself in the place where these three big theories are floating around and everyone thinks of all of them as equally science, equally empirical, equally good, equally powerful, equally important, right?
Marxism, Einstein,
and Freud.
And Freud.
Yeah, so Freud is all
I'm trying to keep them all. It's so hard to put them in the same folder in your brain.
So you have one set of thinking that says that the entire world is about to erupt into a class war. You have another set of thinking which says everything that you think is really just your unconscious, and we all want to have sex with our mother and all of this, and so let's just close our eyes and masturbate about Salvador Dali and all that. And then you have this other guy who's like, oh, space and stuff. I like talking about space, and everything is curvy and
stuff. It's like an apostrophe.
Yeah, space stuff, comma, stuff.
Yeah.
And so now the game is, well, what is the difference between one of these things? Because nobody knows what is science.
Not one of these things is not like the other.
One of them is not like the other.
Not the same.
So puzzling over this question was kind of how he cut his teeth. And his, the thing that people most know him for is called his Demarcation Criterion, which is all about, I'm not going to say that Freud is total bullshit, just like I'm not going to say that astrology is total bullshit, but there is a difference here. And what's the difference? And the difference is Einstein. What is the difference? The difference is that Einstein was falsifiable. So Einstein would be able to say, if you go here and you look at this and it's not here, my entire life's work is completely wrong. And so he made a prediction. He said, if you, Arthur Eddington, sail off the west coast of Africa in 1919 and you look for a piece of starlight behind a solar eclipse, and if it's not there, then everything I've been working on for the last 20 years is completely trash. But the other two,
and you know how that came out? It was completely trash, and no one ever heard of Einstein again.
Exactly. Yeah, Einstein, the schmuck, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And now we worship Freud.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So the reason I kind of having a finely tuned bullshit detector is it's really tough. It's really tough to figure out what the differences are, especially when everyone around you is telling you that all three of these things are super duper true, really, 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 really fucking true. And he called bullshit. And this is just one aspect of his writing and career and his philosophy. But it's super important because we are constantly and forever surrounded by oceans and oceans of bullshit. And if we do not know how to differentiate it for ourselves, then it is really tough to figure out what is true in the world. And so reading him is not just about reading old stodgy science. It's about finally calibrating your bullshit detector so that when there's new ideas around like long-termism and stuff, you can call bullshit on your own. And that's why I think it's important.
Oh, you needled that. You got that little needle in there.
In my long-termism piece, by the way, so that's how this all ties together, is they made a typo and I sicked them.
You did?
I sicked them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Booyah.
I know. There was like all the argumentation of my piece, but then there was the fact that I sicked him, and I think that counted for more. You know, that was important.
That's a punch in the gut, man.
Yeah,
because these guys are rationalists, right? They're like hardcore believe they're right about everything.
Yeah. That like gotta lower their credence down to fucking 0.001. You know, that's
is in the toilet.
Toilet.
Yeah, toilet credence. You know, one thing I've been thinking about, and we're just going to skip a whole lot of shit that we've talked about, but one thing that I've been coming to is that, you know, like people my parents' age who I adore, of course, and I know a lot of boomers who I adore are constantly saying things to me like, we just need to go back to Walter Cronkite, to the Cronkite era, right? And it's amazing how quickly you can like shock their pants off by saying, no, actually, this is better. This is better than the Cronkite era. Like when you have one single narrative that is the true objective narrative, then you're making some really big mistakes. It's better to have QAnon out there. It's better to have the insanity of, you know, completely unidentifiable fact and have a much lower bar to the conversation. And the thing that I keep coming to Popper here, because what Popper did was give us what I think actually will become the 21st century framework for figuring out for ourselves what is fact and what isn't, or what is truth, as good as we can get it right now, to use sort of his rubric. And because when you think about it, we are having obviously a revolution as crazy in humanity as the printing press was. And nobody, when they first started printing their opinions, nobody said, oh, we need an editorial board to make sure that this is all objective. Like the human cultures develop the tools over time that they need to parse messages and truth and communication. We are at the beginning. We just developed the press, and we have not built up the chops, basically, the technology, the ability to parse information yet. And so that's why we feel like we're so confused by these things. But ultimately, it's because we've broken down the centralized message machine in favor of a much more broadly dispersed ability to spread messages, and that is inherently good and forward.
It's the difference between having too little information or too much, right? So in the Cronkite era, you had one narrative and you had one stream of information, and that's all nice because everyone can think about the same thing, and then everyone agrees really nicely and all gets along, and there's no such thing as the Cold War or whatever. But then now with social media and with just this information overload, now we have so much information that even people who I respect a lot, like Sam Harris, think that this is the cause of so much of our world's ill. And it's not. It's just that each human being has to develop their own bullshit detector to be able to start to filter the information themselves and stop trying to get other people to do it for them. And so that's why, so calibrating yourself to be able to sift through information, because there's going to be just more and more and more, is, I think, a really important skill that one must cultivate in this era.
Isn't that Popper? Benny, don't you think that's where, like, enter Mr. Popper's Penguins? I mean, Karl Popper, rather.
Yeah, I guess. I guess we all just need to become perfect, like, Bayesian updaters now. You know, we're presented with information and then we update our beliefs. Andrea's face. Panic. I'm just kidding.
Not Bayesian.
Not Bayesian.
Don't do that to me. It's because it's fucking the whole Bayesian. I understand that the man is smart, does math, and like a probability. I get it, but like when you allow it to be so, I don't know. Fuck. It's like there's something.
What it is? It's an alternative epistemology, right? So it's a different way to make sense of the world, except it actually doesn't make any sense. And so you have all these tools that you think are going to make sense, but then it really just dissolves into obscurity. And so Popper is good because it gives you the tools to make sense of stuff in a way that actually fucking makes sense. And so
to me, it's like right. The equivalent to me is like, so I'm a journalist and you trust me because I do good interviews, right? And then one day I decide I want to interview this other person. I'm going to ignore whatever you said because it was probably snide and horrible. No, joking. One day I decide that I'm going to go interview somebody. I'm going to pay someone, right, to be interviewed, to let me interview them, right? And so the relationship between me and that person are now totally different. The incentives are totally different than what you expect of me at all times, except all I do is just publish the interview exactly the same as every other interview I've ever done. And just, if you want to, you can read the fine print and see that that my relationship to this interview subject is totally different from the other ones. But no one does that. They just listen to the interviews. That to me is the credence probability. It's like, you can't just use all the same goddamn symbols and use it to compare the same things and then somewhere expect me to know that it's a totally different number. Okay, well,
so I know that our audience is going to have no fucking idea what we're talking about, and so maybe a little bit of the background will be useful because
no, we can't do that here. It's we can't.
It's not a background thing.
We are an hour and 12 minutes in.
I'm not going to get
deep.
You're right.
Bayesianism sucks. That's all you need to know.
If you want background, learn it yourself, jerk.
Yeah.
Fuck you, audience. Yeah. What are you doing here?
Just kidding.
No, we are going to have maybe next week, or because we're going to start doing this
often. Regularly because it's fun.
Yeah. Because
can be our new job, right? I'm quitting.
Yeah.
Can I say one more Popperian insight, which I think is really important?
God,
Jesus fucking Christ! Just shut the hell up already. Here's one more Popperian insight, which I think is a tiny little useful thing to have, which is most of us are trained to think, oh, this news source is good, or oh, this news source is bad, and then look for the good or the bad one. But it's much more fruitful to think most news sources are going to have a mix of truth and falsity, and you have to look through each thing you read and try to extract the thing that you think is true and filter out the thing you think is false. And so rather than trying to find like the perfect pure piece of journalism or the perfect pure piece of whatever, you think about each piece and try to extract the nugget of truth from it. And just that simple little move, it I think engages you a little bit more closely with the material that you read, because now it's a game of trying to find what's true rather than discarding entire pieces of journalism entirely as bullshit, but trying to think about what is the truth from it. So tiny thing, yeah.
Except when it comes to Andrea Seabrook, in which case you can believe anything that I say at all times.
Except Andrea Seabrook, which is an unfiltered, varnished truth.
Yeah, the authority on truth.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Exactly.
Infallibly access
Thank you.
truth.
There is just let's see. I'm not. I just don't think I can go back to the chat. It's too hard.
It's too much. Just leave it.
Wait, I want to hear about your reportings.
Yeah, so. And there now.
We talk about you.
Okay, Wait, hold on. I want to say, Will Seabrook is here. Will Seabrook is my brother.
Will.
He is in the chat. Woo-hoo-hoo. William Seabrook.
Will Seabrook.
We got Philip Daniel. Hello, Philip Daniel. Do you guys know Philip Daniel? Do I know Philip Daniel?
Of course I know Philip Daniel. Of course not.
You do? No. I don't know. Hi, Philip Daniel.
I'm just getting to know
2 first names. All right.
I know. It's true. I was thinking that myself. I'm trying to see. I felt like somebody else popped in that I wanted to say hi to, but it's just so hard.
How much of this is the internet and how much of this is your friend group?
I don't know.
Like this is a good mix. I like it.
How many people have I actually met in person? My brother. Nice. I believe that is the only person in here that I have actually met in person.
Does anyone call him Bill or Billy? Or is it
no, he's been called Will, Wild Bill Squill, I think Squilbert. I don't know. He had some weird names in college, but
how did you get into Popper, by the way? Because like the Popper thing, I still don't know your story about finding Popper. Like we talk about him all the time, but what's your intimate relationship?
I got Popper through Deutsch.
Yeah. Okay. So what's your background? Like, what's your origin story, man? With the Popper Deutsch crowd.
I was born in a crossfire hurricane.
Jesus, that's.
I'm not doing that right now. I don't know.
But how did you find it? How did you find Deutsch? Though?
I don't know. I don't have linear, histories that way. Gotcha. The brain, it was Deutsch. I think I had gone down some quantum mechanics rabbit hole.
Nice, cool.
And I was trying to understand how. Yeah. Okay. I read somewhere that quantum computers, at least theoretically, will be able to process some kinds of information at speeds that are orders of magnitude faster than sort of serial like computers we have now, but other things at exactly the same speed as the computers we have now. And that fundamentally revealed a hole in my understanding of quantum computing, because I just thought, one hole.
Yeah. The rest was completely solid.
Well, it revealed to me that I had subconsciously assumed that quantum computing was just a really, really small way of having binary processes. That I just thought it was like another on-off switch.
Classic mistake. Yeah.
and that wouldn't be true. So I went down. I was like, okay, so what is the difference then? I wanted to understand that, and I have enough. Like by the time I was I have a bachelor's degree in biology, and by the time I had to study like real chemistry, like at the tiny level, I feel so old, but like we knew about that it wasn't this bullshit shells of electrons, that that quantum physics is what's going on there. And so I knew enough to say, okay, I think I have some. It's not like I understand what the theory of quantum computing, but I had enough I have enough of an understanding to realize that I had a big hole that I wanted to fill. So I went down that rabbit hole and got to Deutsch. And Deutsch, because he's the guy who
the founder of quantum computers. Yeah. So he's
basically.
Yeah. No.
Right, because he like, as I understand it, before Deutsch, everybody said a quantum computer should be possible, but nobody had actually designed one. And he went and designed one. And then the following like 20 years, people tried to make that. He also developed the first couple of algorithms that could run on a quantum computer.
Yeah. So he didn't design like the physical hardware. He just showed that you could have quantum algorithms which achieve speed-ups that you couldn't get without the quantum. So he showed that there was a benefit to going quantum, but he didn't actually make the hardware.
Right. Yeah. When I say design, like it's hard to talk about because the reason he went and like built a theory of quantum computing was because everybody was saying this should be possible. So there was a theory, but then what he did is go and design. Like when I say design one, it's not like make one. It's like develop a framework.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. He made it precise and showed that it was possible, basically. Yeah, totally.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So the thing that people, this is very boring. It must be incredibly boring. But so I was looking into all that when Deutsch, as Deutsch does, I now know, you listen to him talk enough, he veers straight into politics and philosophy. And, that's what I've done for my job. So I started to, oh shit, this guy's, with the same, I don't know, thought breath and the same mind breath will take on, fascinating quantum shit and political stuff and like, the building of knowledge. And so I started reading everything I could get my hands on about him, and he leads you straight to Popper because,
Yeah,
and he says, well, yeah, go ahead.
Just plug for Beginning of Infinity. If you haven't heard of that book or read that book, just buy it now and just stop reading the comment feeds and start reading Beginning of Infinity. It'll blow your mind. Because it's universal in the sense of not being confined to a single discipline, right? So he talks about politics, he talks about science, he talks about morality, he talks about all of this stuff in a unified, beautiful way. And people who have yet to read Beginning of Infinity, I think, will have a treat in front of them. So
to me, it's like the sequel to Conjectures and Reputations in a way, right?
Yeah.
Which I am behind on, by the way, from our reading group, and I'm so sorry.
How dare you?
It's a good chapter. So you're coming to the next reading group though on Monday.
Monday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
We'll catch up.
What chapter are we on? Or we must be on four.
Four.
Yeah. Okay.
Traditions. Right. Yeah. Anyways, yeah.
I also missed my Shakespeare group, so it's not just you guys. Just so you know.
Okay. But
What are you reading in your Shakespeare group?
We just finished King John, which sucked. It was literally the first. The reason you've never read it and it's not on your head is because it sucked.
Really?
You find if you finally want to find, you've been looking all your life for some Shakespeare that sucks. King John. The theory is that he probably didn't even write it. That he jotted off some shit and somebody else wrote it. But it's really boring and stupid. So don't waste your time. But anyway,
this is a good sell for just reading group.
I want to be in this reading group.
That sounds fucking awesome, Andrea.
Finally, I found
shitty Shakespeare.
That's good. Great. Can you please, before we get any farther, tell everybody about increments?
Benny Con.
Benny Con. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just me talking about my lineage. That's the whole podcast. It's just episode after episode. Parents, great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents.
Yeah.
No, it's just Vaden and I would get into some fun debates, and one day we decided to start recording them. And we talk about everything from science to philosophy to politics. We're both at this point very informed by the work of Popper and whatnot, so have our conversations.
The work of Seabrook?
Yeah, exactly. The work of Seabrook. Yeah.
Seabrook came first. She was foundation.
Totally.
Seabrook informs both Popper and
because Seabrook and then Marx, Einstein.
Yeah.
And
those were the four theories prominent at the.
And then Seabrook again.
Seabrook 2.0.
You just keep returning to the Seabrook because you just keep getting more and more.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
But so what do? We shoot the shit about various topics. We don't really have a sense of design or direction. It's mainly just us trying to make sense of stuff. And we have a Conjectures and Reputations theme going as merely a backbone to structure the podcast, basically. But
you guys are selling
the last 4 episodes are just us railing against long-termism.
Yeah, and we've just recently been just like taking swings at a different community because why the fuck not?
Okay, let me boil down. This is my goddamn show, so I'm going to tell my people what I think long-termism is. Here's what long-termism is.
Well, can you tell them what you think our podcast is from your perspective as well? Because we don't know what the fuck. Yeah, we don't know what the fuck our podcast is.
You know what it is more than we do. Yeah.
Both of those. Yeah.
Increments is a podcast where these guys talk about shit they don't like.
Well, that's a great fucking sell. Oh my god!
At least for the last 4 episodes, which is about a quarter of the episodes that there are.
That is an excellent point. That's a really excellent point.
Believe me, you've got to have that in the podcast because if you don't have that kind of conflict, why am I listening to you? So that's okay.
We should rename it to excrement. We don't like. All right. Oh, sold.
Oh, Benny, that was good. You are fucking good.
Logging off.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So let me tell people what long-termism is. Long-termism is when a whole bunch of rich people with overpowered educations. Not that you can really have overpowered, but what I mean by that is like way more money in education than they do like street smarts. These people don't know what to do with their money, and so they do a lot of like futuristic, silly math to try and make themselves feel good about giving money to causes that other than actual like people who need it now.
Yeah, I mean, at the end, that was pretty good. Yeah. I like the futuristic rich kids. That's fantastic.
I mean, it's it's
know,
about I want to spend my money, keeping robots from attacking the Earth. Look, here's all this math that shows how much more my money will be doing giving it to this random guy than giving it to people who want to like fight malaria now.
Okay. So I've been taking swings at long-termism, but I also think it's important to accurately characterize the opposing view, and that is a not accurate characterization of people on the other side. I have to defend long-termism for a bit because I don't get to switch sides, except hearing descriptions like that. Now I do.
Fine, they're nice people who are rational and shit.
No, so the effective altruist world are a bunch of great people who are doing their best to make the world better effectively. This is William McCaskill. This is Nick Bostrom. This is Toby Ord and Hillary Greaves. And these people are trying to make the world better, and they have done a great job of it. But there's this new philosophy called long-termism, which we're critical of. And
listen, I just wanted guys, to we don't run in their circles, so we don't care about whether they like us or not.
Will not poorly describe the other side, because it's a shitty move, and some friends of mine are long-termists now, and I don't want to be mean, I guess. But
these
also
are people
increases the validity of the criticism if it's too broad, right? So like you want to target exactly what's wrong with the
only because there's some people who consider themselves long-termists, and I don't want them to think that we just think shitty rich kids.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, everyone
15 seconds explain what long-term, and I mean fucking 15 seconds, because there are 18 people watching us right now, and none of them know what you're talking about.
Totally. Yeah. If one of them is long-termist, I don't want them to think that we think they're shitty rich kids.
Oh my God.
Okay, go ahead, Ben.
You are.
It's important. It's important to not.
15 seconds. Go, Benny. Go.
I mean, didn't Vaden just explain it? I'm confused.
I didn't understand anything he said.
So the premise of long-termism is that most of our moral value as humanity lies far in the future. Like the future is going to be much bigger than the present. We have good reason to suspect. Put aside any incredulity at the moment, but the future has the potential to be huge, right? Like could be billions, trillions of people stretching in front of us. And these people are completely neglected by our current political processes and our current decision making. And so a lot of our altruistic effort should actually be directed at them.
Good. Nice.
Boom.
That's the strong
in other words, future life is as important as or more than current life.
That's where precisely.
We spend our time worrying about that.
It's not that it's more, it's that like it's equally morally valuable, but there could be so many more future people that if you're like just doing arithmetic overvalue, then it's just the future moral weight is going to outweigh the present day.
But you're totally right to pick up on the utopian thing, because this is how most utopian philosophies become catastrophic, where they.
This is how you end up right.
Yeah, so like I view it as a utopian philosophy, which compares, say, the lives of the working class after the socialist revolution has come around compared to the lives of the working class now, and so it's very much in that class. And I know that
it's even worse than that, because to me it's like, how can you, the gall of thinking you could possibly know enough to compare two futures? You don't know enough to have one idea of the future, much less compare one idea to another idea of the future. It's just complete and utter bullshit to me. It just, I mean, this gets back to like what attracts me to Deutsch and Poppers is like the sudden realization that you cannot, you have fun with your fun little contingency plans, but you really don't know what's going to happen. Like in a much bigger way. It's not just like, will I like orange in 10 years?
It's just like, so the audience is clear, like when we say long-termism, we're talking 1 million or 1 billion years from now. It's fucking insane. So I've done my like, prop up the other side thing, but honestly, it's fucking insane. Like there's no way that we can know. Just imagine being Jesus Christ and trying to predict the internet. Like, and then realize this is 2,000 years and multiply that by however much you need to get to 1 million. This is lunacy. And this is why it's called long-termism, but it's.
I cannot help but think, Vaden and Benny too, that like Why is it that every single person who seems to ascribe to this shit is a sort of rich Palo Alto person?
Yeah. So what's your thing with the rationalist thing? Like that, let's argue about that for a bit, because this is what we got really drunk and argued about for. Is like, you fucking hate rationalists, and what is this? Can we unearth this? Because like,
I don't think I can right now, except the main point.
Okay.
Except I'll make my point. Okay. I can't.
Good. You make your point,
Everyone
and then change the subject. Yeah.
Okay.
Good. Yeah.
That's what I do in the podcast all the time.
I'm interested.
Excellent strategy.
Yes.
I mean, the problem, I think, in the argument is switching from the use of rationalism as like a philosophical school of thought to rational, the word that we use in the English language, and how we use it. Now, I'm not going to get to that side of the goddamn table, okay? Don't worry. But what is it? I think it's the right side of the table. It's the bad side.
Left
side.
Yeah.
Left side. Okay. Well, I'm not going to do that. We're not just going to have a discussion, a semantic discussion. But
so glad to hear
my problem with the rational, the word rational, is that irrational either, it usually means emotional and bad, or not a good way to make decisions.
I agree.
And I am trying to say that I think Popper brilliantly puts back on the plane of good or acceptable incoming streams of information, emotion, and all other qualia, by the way. You know what I mean? Besides the ones that we dub as rational ones.
Totally. Yeah. Can I riff on that? Because it wasn't actually even Popper. It goes back to David Hume, who said that reason is the slave of the passions. And I don't think that we can make this clean distinction between like Spock and what's the other guy? The rational one, right? There's the
my friend
one and the rational one.
Spock is the rational one.
Gotcha. Fuck, I fucked up the. But like, I think that emotions and
all the
reason.
watchers just fucking.
I'm so sorry, friends. Please excuse my other friends.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I think that there's nothing irrational about emotion at all. Totally, I completely agree. For me, like the most useful emotion is like cold anger, because cold anger can be turned into writing, and then writing can be turned into something useful. And so I love it.
The refreshing thing about Popper is he stops trying to justify like where the ideas come from, right?
Yes.
So he just recognizes that like ideas can come from anywhere. They can come from like pure emotionality, some insight you got off the street, what have you. Whereas a lot of philosophy is like really concerned with exactly like justifying where the ideas come from and like how we can prove the ideas to be absolutely correct. Right. And so Popper just like does away with all this in one swoop. He just says it doesn't matter where the ideas come from. What matters is how we get rid of bad ideas. Right. So we can slowly whittle our way towards truer and truer ideas. And so I want all the ideas possible. I want dude tripping on LSD. I want the people that are just like pure emotion. I want the people who are trying to be super rational. I want all their ideas. Then we're going to pit the ideas against one another, and we're going to criticize the hell out of them. And then slowly over time, always we could be wrong, right? We're always like fallible, but over time we're going to slowly converge via better and better explanations onto better and better ideas that are closer.
And things like curiosity are an emotion. Like there's a feed.
Yes, you can't separate them. The whole separation is bullshit.
If by rational you mean people who do not understand the importance of emotion, then fuck those guys. I totally am on your side. So if that's how you're using that. Totally
That's
agree.
how I was using it.
Okay, awesome.
And,
totally.
In fact, it's led that kind of philosophical sort of organization has led us to stupid places like the difference between mind and body. These like this separation of thought from biological processes. They are not separate. They are one. We're still there with the whole consciousness argument. Not argument, but like question, like what is it? The only reason we think it is something else is because we're thinking about it. It's very like it's a meta thing. And I suspect that there's more going on there. I mean, lots of people do, obviously, but it's not. We are imprinting the world around us with this, dichotomous sense of the world: rational versus non-rational. Mind, body. This kind of fake.
Yeah, the dichotomy is obviously bullshit, but I don't know how strongly it's felt by people within, quote, the rationalist community. Like, there may be people who think emotions aren't important, but I haven't actually met anyone who's ever said that. So it may be a bit of a
define emotion versus something else.
Everyone recognizes that emotion is important into the game. Like, being irritated by something is an emotion. If you take that and turn it into something that you start to explore, that's great. Like
it's just not separable from other thinking. It's just part. It's like it's thinking.
I don't think the rationalist community is dedicated to being Spock-like.
Exactly.
I think maybe you have like a specific version of like the rationalist community that they're just trying to achieve Spock level emotionality and like reasoning ability, but I don't think that's true.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the only reason to use the word rational and to call yourself part of a rationalist community is to say that you're righter about something than other people.
Like, part of the big organization is called Less Wrong. So it's often about being less wrong than other people. Okay, fine. That's like, you're right. No, you got me. Yeah, as soon as I said it out loud, I was like, no, man, that's right. That's a good point. Yeah.
It's just the way. I mean, I appreciate the humility in reverse defining it rather than defining it.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's a reverse definition. You're totally right. Yeah.
But still, the point is to say everyone else thinks wrong. We think right.
Less wrong.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a good point.
I don't think so. Wait. I think you guys are like bundling in some ideas from the outside, right? It's just a community of people dedicated to like sharpening their thoughts and slowly trying to converge towards better. Like, I don't see the critical rationalist community being any different in that respect, right?
No, except
like
they don't join clubs.
Knowledge.
Are you in a critical rationalist club where you go hang out with them?
There are critical rationalists discords and
stuff, and you're in one of them.
Twitter community. Yeah, you are in one of them.
The Bay Area rationalists get together to like go skiing and shit. They're like,
it's just a bunch of scale. There's more people, and so when you have a lot of people,
I am never going skiing with you ever.
Bowling, yes. Skiing, definitely not.
But people form clubs around all sorts of things, and that's great. And they should form clubs around stuff that they enjoy. Like the clubby thing is fine. Like,
that's
people
just how humans are, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We like. You have friends and they share similar like beliefs or values, and you hang out with them and you talk about things. Like, that's totally fine.
Community is a lot of fun, and so it makes sense that people have community over things that they're interested in.
I'm skeptical. You know what I think of you people?
You are all weirdos. Ugh.
A little,
I feel like you could level the same accusation at like NPR reporters. Like, y'all think your reporting is so true.
Boom.
You go.
You are all weirdos. Ugh.
You and Abramrod are hanging out on the slope, talking about how stupid everyone else is. Whose podcast doesn't have 1 billion listeners.
Yeah, I think once you're like, oh yeah, I met Christopher Hitchens at a gala.
Whatever, shut up.
At a fucking gala.
How many watchers I have right now? 13, down 7 whole ones since we started talking about philosophy. It was much more interesting when we were just reading the chat.
Totally. We can go back to talking about your
to wrenches.
Yeah, wrenches and chat. Yeah.
Okay. I am actually going to go back to the chat very quickly because John DeMarco said critical rationalists sounds like logic extremists. I think John DeMarco, you are one that I would love to talk to about this stuff. Go look up critical rationalism. I don't mean that in like a go look that up. I mean like
it's just a shorthand label for Karl Popper. That just don't even take the word critical rationalism more seriously than Karl Popper's philosophy. That's all it means.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Except critical rationalism is like a nice, compact.
Yeah. Popper. But it's not like anything to be taken too seriously. It's just a pointer to get to Popper. That's all.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna like forget. I can't deal with the chat anymore. I'm also I've had like back-to-back meetings all day, and this is a really inartful place to start ending the podcast, or whatever the fuck this is. But I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna start ending now. This is the beginning of the end. Okay.
All
Right,
right.
closing down. So let's
Is that
start
clear?
from the top of the chat. You want to start?
Let's
from the
all
top of the
drink
chat?
another bottle of wine.
Top of the chat.
Yeah, so
No,
let's just go through.
on chat.
Kirk was the name of the person who I forgot earlier, and like,
Oh my
fucking
god.
Kirk, obviously, fucking idiot. I know who Kirk is, people. I know who Kirk
You are
is.
embarrassing me.
No, it was
You are
bad.
embarrassing.
No, I embarrassed myself.
It's where actually a couple weeks ago, I had my daughter on one of the first live streams I did, and neither she nor two of her friends who were together at that time knew what a Klingon was, and that was embarrassing. Now you guys are like grown men, supposedly educated, supposedly intelligent, intellectual, like you have some idea of the culture that you live in, and yet you thought Spock was the emotional one.
Vaden did.
And Vaden, yeah, sorry, Benny, I don't mean to tar you with the Vaden
don't
brush.
not tar
No,
me.
honestly, I apologize
Yeah,
for both.
yeah,
Particularly-
yeah. We're going
Especially
to send Vaden back to the weather room,
yeah.
where he came from.
Yeah.
I don't have a beard, so I shouldn't be taken seriously. That's how the world works. So I'm allowed to get off. I'm
Okay.
to be
I
let
agree with
off
that.
all accusations because I
Okay.
don't have a beard. That's how it works. Yep.
And it took you like 20 minutes to come up with the name Kirk, as in Captain James T. Kirk, who, by the way, will be born in the future in I think it's 2230 something in Riverside, Iowa, where I was just a couple days ago, and at the future birthplace of Captain Kirk. And I was, telling people that it's very important to study. It's critical, especially in America and on Earth, to study our future history, because if you don't, those who forget their future history are doomed to three-peat it. Yeah, that's what happens when you try and turn a very like inspired tweet into a joke that you tell out loud. It doesn't work very well.
No.
But
those who forget their future history are doomed to repeat it. I totally got
yes,
it. It was fantastic.
So I actually am uploading a video tonight or tomorrow from the future birthplace of James Tiberius Kirk in Riverside, Iowa. I expect you to memorize verbatim everything I say in that and repeat it back to me the next time we're here, and that's your penance for
James Tiberius Kirk. And
yes, James T. Kirk, not Admiral.
TK. Yeah.
JTK. Yeah, you got it.
I'm with you. Wow.
It's been 1 hour and 43 minutes. I think. Okay, I'm going to do. So Chrono says, "What is a Kirk?" Yeah, right. Chrono's always hanging around with these Trek people. John DeMarco, I don't believe in the no Kirk scenario. Chrono says a static Klingon is something you get in the dryer. John DeMarco says, I have a beard, therefore everyone must take me seriously. Chronos.
True. Yeah.
So Chrono says, John DeMarco, no, you are just evil. John DeMarco says that too. Chrono says,
nice.
And I think, what?
The bottom of the chat. Do we get to the bottom of the chat? No.
Yeah, I skipped like miles and miles of chat. I mean, just like I am a terrible person.
Just kidding.
What?
Just
okay. I don't think any of your friends, your supposed friends, Chesto and whatever
Jeremy,
Tubby Tubs.
Yeah.
I don't think they subbed me. I don't think they subscribed to my, because I have the same number of subs now as I did before, and I'm very disappointed in you. Have you guys subbed me?
I subbed the shit out of you. Yeah.
You have now been subbed. Wait, how many subs do you have?
I have 107 right now.
Oh,
yeah, I get a lot more listeners than, or viewer, whatever the fuck they're called.
You're still at the scale where you can point to individual people and tell them to sub you. This is great.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Ben Chug says, help. Who's Ben Chug? I've never heard of this person. Yeah. Somebody go figure out who that is.
Oh, can we paste in the link to our podcast? Can we do some like
Oh yeah, hell
shameless
yeah. You may not be able to because you're not wrenches, but you know what you can do?
shameless self-promotion?
Is that racism?
Okay. In the private chat, paste it in there, and I'll copy it into the.
Oh, hell yeah!
So you guys should listen to Increments. It's very weird and wonderful. It is a weird and wonderful world.
Just skip all of them except for the last like 5 because we don't know what the fuck we're doing. Yeah.
No, I think now, like once we've explained long-termism, then it's like super fun to listen to you guys like punch it in the face.
Honestly, we take a giant shit on it. Like
awesome.
4 or 5
hey, so these for the people who care, Benny and Vaden went on other people's like some long-termists podcast to talk to them. How'd that go?
I think it went pretty well. There is one dude on Twitter who, some rando, he's like against long-termism now. And I was so stoked on that because we changed one mind.
Yeah. I got to retweet that bastard to infinity. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it was like, the podcast that we went on is called Hear This Idea with Finn and Luca, who are just awesome people. And I don't want to be cavalierly using the phrase long-termist because it's just people who are interested in different things than we are, and they're great folk, and would also totally plug their podcast because they're awesome. And I do not want to say anything negative about them because they're great people. So I gotta be nice.
You're never gonna get popular not pissing people off, you know.
I'm down to piss off ideas, and I'm down to piss off like Elliot Zukowski, but like Finn and Luca are just dope dudes, and I have a lot of respect for them. So
I compared to Marx, and no one paid attention to me. So that was my attempt at trying to piss people off. I got one piece of hate mail, and then that was the end of the story.
Compared who to Marx?
Peter Turchin. He's this professor at the University of something.
You did? Holy shit!
Benny. And then Andrew Yang, Pete fucking tweeted him out, and I was like, "This is the end of my writing career. This is it. I give up."
I just posted the link into the private chat. Can we shamelessly self-promote it?
My friend, it is already in.
Oh god!
Did it.
Hell yeah!
God.
Yeah, I'm fast like that. I'm like the wind.
Send that
not that wind.
like the fart. That one.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, thanks for saying that.
That's a good place to start the next segment.
Farts are something we should try and share across the screen.
Oh wait, I can do that. Hold on. I can do that.
You don't have like a fart track, just like attached to your keyboard or something? You can have like the emojis for different fart sounds.
Hold on.
That's like audio engineering basics, you know? Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Fart sounds.
Here we go.
Day 1.
There you go.
There it is. Give the people what they want. Am I right?
I did it.
Oh, thank you. Farts. Farts.
Where do these things happen?
Where do we start? Where do we go? Who cares? We're here. This is all in the mix. Let's just all take a second and just look at the bottom, because this is
it.
Seabrook.
This is the pinnacle of human achievement right here.
It
doesn't matter how much more knowledge we accumulate as human beings. No, farts will always be funny. And
Seabrooks, farts.
There.
Well,
with that,
it's been uplifting, you guys. We really have lifted the dialogue on the internet.
Yeah, really. Much more
we're dragging the dialogue towards fart. Contribution.
Hey, look, it's Mr. CCDV. Good to see you, man. Nobody's seen you in a while. Hi. Or at least I haven't. CCDV, yes.
What's that?
Great guy. That stands for Conservative Christian Disabled Veteran.
Badass.
He is a badass guy. He also is an amazing voice. And if you guys ever want to come on karaoke on Saturday nights, he's really good.
Yeah, I do. I have told you about my time living in Japan for 6 months, where all I would do is go to random fucking karaoke's and a bunch of people and sing. The Killers, Mr. Brightside, to a bunch of Japanese strangers over and over and over again. It was so much fun. Yeah.
You know, karaoke on the internet without your camera turned on is like the most freeing karaoke you've ever done. It's like they can't trace it back to you. You don't know any of the people. You're all laughing. It's hysterical. Everyone's terrible. It's like so much fun. It's really great.
And tell your housemates come knock on your door and you just shut the fuck up.
Try not to be in a relationship at all. That helps.
You won't be after the karaoke. That's for damn sure. I will karaoke any time of day. My God.
Okay,
yeah.
That's good to know. That's good to know.
All right.
Okay, I am going to wrap this up. We're going to do more though, because God damn it, this is a pretty
that was
good
a good
goddamn
We can just do
time.
comment feed the entire time. We don't
We
talk
should
about fucking.
yeah. We'll call it Ouroboros. We'll call it like who knows how you start it, but it is just a snake eating its tail. That's all it is, and it just it's yeah.
The more you talk about it, the more they comment on it, and then you just get to talk about the things you talked about, and it's just beautiful.
Yeah. It's a
recursion on recursion.
Yeah,
So good.
yeah. But you know what we have to say now at the end of this beautiful podcast to our lovely fans is,
You are all weirdos. Ugh.
and I promise that by sometime later, I will upload another video, so it won't just be the one that I can play.
You need to get like a fart track, so you can just like do all different kinds of
That's
farts.
the banner. Wait. Oops. Oh, here it comes. Ready? Oh.
Boom! Look at that.
I'm doing that. I'm making that move.
The spatial awareness is blows my mind.
Yeah,
That's unbelievable.
Oh my God. This is what people need. Give them what they want. Yeah.
Okay, God damn it. It's really great seeing you guys. I'll see you on the Discord server. We'll talk. I mean, we have so many dangling, things in the air that we have to finish.
Klingon.
We'll go skiing. That'll be great.
No, bowling, remember?
Yeah, bowling. Fuck.
No skiing, bowling.
Whenever you need guests,
they're so similar, I get confused.
Shit shoot. Let us know. We'll be there.
Goodbye, my friends.
Mwah.
See you later.
Bye.